I have a confession. I don't like cheese.
Hello everyone, it is Nicole. I hope you're doing well. You don't realize how much you fidget and move until you are on the thing that your camera is on, and then every tiny movement of your leg moves the camera. I wanted to talk to you today about a very specific thing that I live by. I don't want to say it's a mantra. Basically, it's not our business to know why. There are so many times where when something happens to us, when something happens to someone we love, when something happens in the world, our first response is, why? Someone cheats on somebody. Why? Someone is assaulted. Why? Someone passes away suddenly. Why? Every time we're focusing on the why of it, we're forgetting something much bigger and something much greater, God and God's plan. And while we may not understand his plan, while we may not understand why things happen or don't happen, when we focus so much on the why, we stop focusing on God. So in Isaiah 26:4, it says, "Trust in the Lord forever, because in the Lord himself is an everlasting rock." Now, I found that trust and why kind of go hand in hand. Think back to either, if you're a parent, so think back to your children. If you don't have children, think back to when you were a child. When your parent told you to do something, before you got to the age of rebellion, when your parent told you to do something, you just did it. If your parent told you to run in the house, hurry, you just did it. You didn't say why, but if a stranger was walking down the street and said, "Run in the house," you'd be like, what? Because of trust. Your parent had built that trust in you. You trusted your parent. You trust your parents to do what's best for you. That stranger that tells you to run in the house, you don't know what they want. You don't trust them. You don't know them. And that's the same thing with God. If we trust him, if we really put our trust in him, we will have no problem just doing what he says, doing it when he says, and really not questioning. But that also has to do with, when things happen, don't spend so much time on the why. It's okay that we don't know the why. A couple of years ago, I went through a pretty horrendous situation with my family. A member of my family passed away, and it was very sudden, and it was very heartbreaking. And it was really, really easy for me to fall into why. Why was no one there? Just a lot of why. I fell into the why. Why did this happen? Why didn't anyone stop this? As I did that, I realized that every time I was focusing on the whys of the situation, it was almost like I didn't trust God. Do I think that he made this happen to my loved one? Absolutely not. However, I don't know why it happened. I honestly can say I don't know why it happened. I don't understand why it happened. Every time I think about it, my heart breaks. I'm still dealing with it. Concentrating on the why takes away my trust for God's perfect plan. If I trust him, I don't question the reasons behind things. Now, I'm not saying to go blindly into things and just say, it doesn't matter why anything happens. It doesn't matter why this tragedy happened. No, if someone gets into a car accident, we need to look at what happened. But we can't look at it like, God, why did you let this happen? Well, first of all, that's not how God is. God loves us. He doesn't put us through these things. We live in a fallen world. Things are going to happen. That's just natural law. It doesn't mean God doesn't love us, but it also doesn't mean we need to spend our time trying to figure out why. Because at the end of the day, does it really matter? Answering why doesn't bring people back. Answering why doesn't erase tragedy. Answering the why doesn't fix anything. It satisfies a need for control for human beings. We want to control the situation. So knowing why, we feel we have a little bit of control over it. When we trust God with everything inside of us, we realize it doesn't matter why things happen. We realize it doesn't matter to figure out the why of everything. It's important to just trust him and trust his way and trust his will. To follow him with all of our heart, soul, spirit, body, mind. And he'll work everything out. We don't follow him blindly. We don't follow him like a robot. We follow him because we love him. We follow him because he is the everlasting rock, and he is what we can put our trust in. Of course, somebody's gonna mow their lawn right now outside of my window. I'm not gonna ask why because it doesn't matter. I hope this helps somebody learn to trust in God and trust that He has your absolute best in mind. And even when it doesn't feel like it, even when it feels like everything around you is falling apart, literally everything is falling apart, He is the everlasting rock and He will be there. So trust in Him. It's all He's asking you to do is trust in Him. He'll show you the way, promise. See you next time, guys. Bye.